Oh, that shirt looks good on you. All right, come on. So this is actually a palm tree arboretum. All right, so if I remember correctly, does any of this look familiar?
Oh yeah.
It looks familiar now?
Yeah.
You gotta back up here. You gotta go back up here. Okay, so you gotta go right here. No, there's no hat in the picture. So it's right here. So maybe if you were holding the camera, it would be better. Because that's what it is. It's like I went, throw her down, boys. Let's hope for the best.
Throw her down. Hope for the best.
Throw her down. Let's hope for the best.
Throw her down. Hope for the best.
What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hayne, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. So it's actually pretty windy out here. I don't know how good this is gonna pick up, but that's okay because today we're spraying and praying, and so I'm not really gonna have to worry about the audio on that. I'm gonna probably just talk over it. But I had promised a bunch of you, if you're on my email newsletter, that I would show you exactly how to apply the compaction cure to your lawn this week. So my lawn isn't compacted, although I do have a lot of clay in my soil. So this is gonna be good for anybody though, but really what this is designed for is for those of you with that really heavy clay soil. So that's gonna be pretty much most of the country. It doesn't really matter about your grass type, but wherever you have super hard compacted clay soil, this is a cure for that. This is also for those of you that have not mechanically aerated this year, don't want to mechanically aerate. This is a great substitute for that, the aerate product itself. I've got a lot of details on this. If you click link in the description below, I'll take you to a blog post that I wrote that actually was part of the email newsletter we sent out this week, but we turned it into a blog post for you. It'll give you a lot more details on the compaction cure, the aerate product, all of that, as well as some more videos that you can watch by John Perry and also Matt Martin that talk about the product and what it will do. Now I realize there's a bunch of you that are not interested in that product, and that's fine, but what you are interested in is the Chameleon versus the Ortho Hose End Sprayer, and that's the other thing we're gonna do today is I'm gonna put that compaction cure down, but I'm gonna use those two hose end sprayers and kind of compare them and talk through them, because I gotta be honest with you guys, spraying through the hose end has been kind of fun for me. I actually like it. It really reminds me of like a true, like old school true green spray in a way, and I kind of like that over the hand can if I'm really honest with you. It also does deliver with a lot more water in the mix, you know, kind of directly injected, and so that gives you a lot more room for fudge factor as well. Now let me just say this before some of you go getting too crazy and getting too carried away. Hose end sprayers are not for pesticides. We're not going to put an insecticide in here, a fungicide, a weed control, none of those things. This is just for fertilizer products that you can dial up or down how you want, again, so more fudge factor, or for soil-borne products like the humic acid, the sea kelp, and the aerate. So this video is really going to be that. It's going to be a showdown of the Chameleon versus the Ortho sprayer. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a lot of my stupid kind of testing that's really kind of meaningless, but I think I'll give you my opinions and things, and I'll show you some things that I learned about these hose end sprayers and kind of pass that along to you if you're looking to purchase one. Also, I'd like to mention that during the video, when there becomes times when I would normally put in a break or something to move the action along, I'm actually going to put in clips there from a recent visit from my good friend Connor Ward, who I was able to host in town here for a few days. We had a great time running around. He mowed my lawn. So I'll put those clips kind of interspersed throughout, and probably some more extended clips at the end. For those of you that know Connor, I think you'll appreciate seeing that.
Just want to make sure the height on this is good, right?
Yeah. No.
Right there?
No. That would be very painful.
So that's not going to work for you?
No, that'd be a problem.
So what about right here?
Nope.
On D?
Nope. No D.
A?
A is good. A for Al.
Okay, A for Al. So
yeah.
I guess I'm going to go with A for Al.
Now let's double check the back one. Is the back one the same?
Oh,
nope.
That one needs to be on D.
No.
So he wants this thing mowed all the way to the top. I'm trying to talk him into just putting it down just a little bit, but I'll go with what he wants, since considering this is his lawn.
Okay, this video is not sponsored, I always have to say that. I'm not gonna complicate you with a bunch of math on this, but I do wanna do a bucket test because I just wanna understand how much comes out of the end of this and how long it takes and all that. In other words, I wanna understand the flow rate. What's the gallons per minute? It's just something that you need to know, and I'm sure it's probably written somewhere in the instructions or whatever, and we'll read those, but I'm just gonna do my own bucket test because as you guys have seen, the bucket test is not always authentic to what's in the direction. So either way though, I just wanna see how much comes out of this or what the gallons per minute flow rate is. All right, so in bucket testing the Chameleon, we came out with a very consistent, what I'm calling 2+ gallons per minute. In other words, it's just over 2 gallons a minute that it sprays. And I tested it several times and it comes out very consistently every time. So we're just gonna call it 2+ gallons per minute. I also retested this brand new Ortho, which has not had the bottom filter removed. All right, so what that shows me is that this one was putting out about 2.5 gallons a minute, which is ringing true even from my first one. So between the first one, you guys remember I had an older one, so between the older one of these that I got and this newer one, they're both spraying definitely at 2.5 gallons a minute, where this was closer to the 2 gallons, maybe slightly over. So either way, I mean, it still works fine. You just have to remember, now this again, this is a much stronger stream and you're going to see that in a minute. So I realize that's not super technical, but you'll be able to see it if you get one. I mean, definitely the Ortho sprays further. You can see here with me doing just water, you can see the difference in the streams this way. Also, the Chameleon stream is not consistent. It's heavier, seems to be on the edges, thinner in the middle, whereas the Ortho has a very consistent spray pattern. If I do you a quick rundown, I do prefer the Chameleon's trigger. It's much more comfortable, easier to operate. I like the quick connect and the swivel. It allows me better arm swing when I'm actually spraying. It has a 32-ounce tank, which is easy to screw into the bottom. And as you will see, it does deliver the product very well. The Ortho, on the other hand, is not as comfortable to operate. I don't like the way that the tank screws into the unit. I can never get it lined up properly, especially if my hands or my gloves are wet. But I will say that consistent, beautiful spray pattern or spray stream is really what makes this one a winner. The question is, can it pump the next products? Because that was what my last one could not do. But again, that could be because I removed the screen. So now we're gonna test them with the Compaction Cure. How are we videoing?
Hey, what's up? I didn't realize it was gonna be so hot here. I mean, I know Florida's hot, but oh my gosh, I'm used to that dry heat. Big difference.
Are you showing off all my shoes in this?
Hey!
People make fun of me for my shoes.
And he's got a lot of shoes. I was really struggling with mowing that lawn because it's a lot taller than what I'm used to. I'm used to like maybe an inch or a half inch or even 2 inches. And so it's quite a bigger struggle to jump through the lawn. And it's okay, I just have to get used to it, but it's just not what I'm used to. But you know, I'm having a good time. And
how many steps does your Fitbit give you already? This is great because I never mow this section this direction, so he's doing me a favor. I mean, this is the hard way to go. All right, so let's go over our numbers here real quick. You can see authentic here. Got a little water in there and we got a smear, but that's all part of the process here, so good stuff. All right, Compaction Cure, available, link in the description below. If you just did this once a year, this is how you would replace your regular aeration. However, if you've got super bad, super compacted soil, then you can do up to 4 applications of this, but seriously, I mean, just plan on 3. Again, we've got the math worked out for you. If you click the link in the description below and go to my blog post, you'll be able to see how the cost kind of breaks down a little bit. But either way, the Compaction Cure is the aerate product, which is going to go down at 9 ounces a 1,000, and the RGS, which is going to go down at 6 ounces a 1,000. And 3 applications, if you're starting now, you could do 1 in the fall here, 1 in the spring next year, and then another one in the fall of 2019. Again, I don't want you to think you got to spray all these back to back. Let's let the product work. Let's let the aerate drive deep, and let's let the RGS have the grass roots follow it down. So that's what we're spraying today. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the calibration on the Chameleon, because I've never showed you that before, but without complicating it. We're just going to go really quick, and then I'm going to show you how I sprayed her all down. All right, let's go over this just real quick, because I'm going to go out and spray this. So not to overcomplicate this, but this works the same way this does with the dial. So what we know is that this is going to put out 2 gallons a minute, and then whatever these dials here, these are what tell you how much you're putting out per gallon. So for example, if I set this on 2, I'm putting out 2 ounces a gallon. So whatever's in this tank, 2 ounces are going to come out of every gallon, and then that means that I'm going to be putting out 4 ounces of product per minute, because 2 gallons per minute. So all you really have to do is just multiply that number by 2, and that's how much comes out of here every single minute. So with the Chameleon, I'm going to go ahead and do section 2 right here. Section 2 is 2,000 square feet. So that's how I'm going to do the Chameleon. So what does that mean? Well, because it's 9 ounces per 1,000 on the air rate, but I need 2 of those because I got 2,000 square feet. So 18 ounces of air rate, 12 ounces of RGS is going to go into the tank here. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill it up a little bit too, just to put a little extra water in there to agitate everything around. And that's what I was talking about. It won't really matter what's in the tank, because what you know is that you've preloaded enough concentrates into this tank, and as long as you empty that tank out on your 2,000 square foot area, then call it good. So that's what I mean. You don't have to just make this so precise. Put in your concentrates that'll cover 2,000 square foot area, fill the rest up with water to wherever you're comfortable, set your dial here, multiply times 2, and that's how much comes out of the top of this every single minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to 4. That means 4 ounces. Remember, I'm gonna have a full 32 ounce tank here. 4 ounces will come out every gallon. That means that if I multiply that times 2, because I get 2 gallons a minute, that means I'm gonna get 8 ounces of product per minute out of the end of this dial. I've got 32 ounces in there, so that's 4. So that means 4 minutes. So that means to spray this section 2 here, 2,000 square foot area, I'll have 4 minutes. That's a nice leisurely walk. I could do it much faster than that, but because this has a weak stream, I want the leisurely walk. So that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna set this out here at 4 ounces, and that means that all 32 ounces will come out within 4 minutes. Okay, so now it's time to go out and spray. Now listen, I know this math can be a little complicated, but I want you to understand with that Chameleon, I'm not gonna calculate the math in the Ortho. I'll link in the description below to where I already did that for you, but I am gonna spray with the Ortho because we're doing a comparison here. But if I set the Chameleon again on 4 ounces per gallon, and I get 2 gallons per minute, that means I get 8 ounces per gallon out of the end of the nozzle. And then what I gotta do from there is just realize if I have a 32 ounce full tank, it's always gonna take me 4 minutes to empty that tank. You could use that as your calibration forever. Just whatever you do, put it in that tank and then use the rest to water to get to that 32, and then take your 4 minutes to spray your 2,000 square feet. They kind of set it and forget it that way. Again, I always end up confusing this with the math, but I know that it clicks with you guys as you keep watching, because repetition is the key to learning. So real quick here, friends in South Florida, I'm talking to those of you that live below the frost line where your lawn does not go dormant. Or for those of you in the middle of the state where your lawn goes dormant, but maybe you can keep it from going dormant by keeping it irrigated during the winter. What I'm doing is click the link description below and sign up for my special newsletter. It's just for those of us in South Florida, or again, those of us who have lawns that don't go dormant, where we have basically 1 long summer and 2 easy springs. I've got a free lawn plan that I'm working on. In fact, I'm writing it now. It should come out in the next week or so, and I'm gonna send that to you. It's a winter lawn plan for South Florida. I'm gonna send that out to free for all of you. We're gonna talk through what can we do in the winter while our lawns are still growing, while they're still green. How can we keep them green, keep them maximized, and keep dominating? Since we don't have to go dormant, let's dominate all the way through year round. Of course, I know there's a bunch of you that live up north, but maybe you have a place down here and you'd like to learn about that lawn care, or you're just interested in general. You're welcome to sign up for the South Florida free guide as well. Click the link description below to sign up for that special newsletter. So in the end, the Ortho did perform well and did spray all the product well, just as well as the Chameleon. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that my taking the screen off in the original one is what messed it all up. Now, the thing is, I need to try it with some 1801 and some 002 microgreen, and as you know, today is October 1st, and my FERT bans are lifted. So I'll be FERTing very quickly here, and I'll be testing that out. In fact, I'm gonna be doing an 1801 test head-to-head with Milo. I just wanna wait till I'm sure that the rains are down, because even though our blackout's off, I don't wanna put down a dry product like Milo and have a storm wash it all off. So got to be a little conservative there, but don't worry, I'll be throwing her down soon. And I will be using the Ortho. That is my choice of hose end sprayer now, as long as it can perform with the 1801, the microgreen, and the other types of ferts I like to use. Don't get me wrong, the Chameleon's great, a much more comfortable unit to use, and I'm telling you, I like the fact that I can actually screw the tank on fairly easy. Another thing real quick, I got some gifts here recently, thank you. I'm terrible at knowing who people are all the time. I'm just really bad at that. For some reason I don't make a good connection from the internet to the real world in my mind. I know it's a weird thing, but I don't want to seem like I'm not gracious. So I want to thank you. Ben H from Texas sent me this sweet cigar lighter. I am gonna use this tonight, actually. Look at that. Really nice. So thank you, Ben. That's an awesome gift. I really appreciate that. And my buddy Joe Pistone, I do know him. He sent me some grass soda, and then he did a whole bunch of good math for me on how many blades of grass it would take to make 1 bottle of soda. So I got a real good kick out of that, Joe. Thanks, brother. And then these, I was emailing with the guy that sent these, I think, or maybe I was Twitter. I'm sorry, bro, that I even, he even said, hey, I know your package there. I'm so sorry. These have been sitting here for a bit. The bro that sent me these, thanks, man. These are some Halloween kind of things. I'm getting ready for my Halloween domination, and he knew that these would be great and that my wife would appreciate these. And I want to thank you, though, very much. As a very thoughtful gift. These are definitely going to go out for Halloween lawn domination. Also, Connor's put out a couple of videos here in the last few days showing our trip, as well as the stolen flamingo caper, which will continue for sure. Click the link in the description below. I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lawn.